This is our ARCHICAD tip of the week, and so I'm going to review the ARCHICAD standard still profiles with you today. To bring the still profiles into your ARCHICAD project, you need to first go to your options menu, go down to complex profiles, and go import standard still profile. This will bring up this dialog, which is your standard still profile database. And there are a lot of different profiles in here. They're basically mimicking the standard still book that is out there. And so, first thing you want to do is basically select your country code. So, of course, if you're in the U.S., you want to go down to U.S. If you're in a different country, you want to go to that. And then, of course, if you're in the U.S., because we're still imperial and metric, select U.S. Imperial, and then that's going to define the settings for your truss or options available for creating your profiles for your still shapes. All right, so once you've done that, then what you want to do is select the geometry method. And so that's where we're going to go and select this geometry button right here. So they're going to pop up, and you're going to see that you have different shapes to select from. You're going to go down and find the shape specific to what you need. Okay, once you find that shape, you're then going to scroll through, I should say, the different available profiles. And you can see if I select the T shape here, there are a lot. You can see by my scroll bar here, there are a lot of different profile shapes and sizes in here. And on the left hand, it's going to tell you the name of that based upon the standard still profile book that's out there, or the standards that we use, conventions here in the U.S. And so you're going to go down, you're going to find that name that perhaps your structural engineer is using as part of what he's creating for you. And so if he didn't create, for example, the steel model, and you have to go in and actually model the steel structural elements, well, you can do that really easily, because if he's actually gone on and he's named each of these individual steel members, you can simply go in, find those steel members that he's named as part of your structural plan. You can then go add that profile to the project and just keep adding these profiles until you are ready to add them into the project. You also really critical, because I've made this mistake many times, you will bring up your standard still profile database, and you'll see here that the assigned building material defaults to masonry brick. Don't ask me why it defaults to masonry brick, but it tends to default to that, which is really problematic when you import all these standard still profiles, you're not paying attention, and all of a sudden you go to 3D and they all have a material assigned to them in 3D of brick, which does not look really well on a steel structural element. So before you import them into ARCHICAD, I would recommend that you click this button and you change that to metal steel, or wood if you're bringing a wood element, but obviously almost it's going to be steel, so I'd probably do metal steel. And then once you've done that, go through this, select and add any additional profiles you want here, so that you start to add these in, and then simply go import. Once you've imported them into ARCHICAD, you can then of course begin to draw these standard profiles using your column or beam tool. And to access these, you're basically going to go to your custom profile option right here. And then once you do that, this button is going to change to profiles that are available. And you can see in here there are various profiles that are standard part of ARCHICAD. But the very bottom here is the one that we actually imported in. And so those that are have the specific names that you need for a project are going to be imported in, and then you can start to work with those and use those. And that is our tip of the week.